Okay. What's up, y'all? So I am waiting on our special guest, Ashley, to join the stream, and I'm also waiting on my co-host, Sent. Um, so just give me a few minutes. I did just send them some links out. Also, because I am still new to going live on YouTube. My two ladies that I nominated as my moderators, I will be sending you guys your wrenches soon, especially as the channel grows. For right now, I believe I'm able to manage the lives pretty well on my own, but in the near future, I will be like assigning you guys your wrenches. Um, and please like the video as you come in. These interviews are created not only to give Black women exposure, especially if they have businesses or if they have like nonprofit organizations that they're running, even other podcasts. You know, I really don't mind other vloggers or podcast people coming over here to do interviews, or even if they have like a testimony that they want to share, anything of that sort that they feel like will help other Black women or even Black teens. I'm fine with that, and I decided to start interviewing people and getting them on here and getting them exposure. I am specifically at this time, I am looking for people who, like women, specifically Black women who work in insurance. I'm looking for, I do have a doctor that I know personally. And I used to, well, we didn't really work together, but we worked in the same hospital. And I'm still waiting to hear back from her. I probably will be sending her another message next week to see if she can come on and interview. I would love and be honored to have her as a guest because she is a Black woman and she's a physician. I believe right now she works in pediatrics. So I would love to have her on, especially to talk about puberty, and especially for my moms out there, the Black women out there who have sons. I really want to help other Black women learn how to deal with their sons, especially during that those puberty months. And not saying that I don't care about what happens with our young girls. That is totally false. It's not that I don't care or whatever. I mean, obviously I do. I'm running a channel that is geared specifically towards Black women and children. But I know, and like this case that I'll be discussing with you all later on tonight, like once I get into that case and why I want this pediatrician to like help moms, especially with those sons, and during that time, y'all will understand all of that a little later on. I'll be getting into it then. So yeah, so I'm just going to give them a few minutes to get in here. So Sid is on her way to the room. I'm just waiting to hear back from Ashley. Okay. So if you guys just give me a minute, I'm going to text Sent. So it looks like Sent is here. I'm going to add her to. What's up, Sent?
Nothing much.
So I'm excited about this interview today. I sent her the link, and we're just waiting for her to get in. But I was talking to everybody today about which areas. Like I'm focused right now on, like, because I got a lot of women hitting me up about interviews on this channel or whatever, which I'm happy they're willing to interview. But specifically for right now, especially after all this Kevin Samuels mess has went down, I'm looking to only interview women who work in like self-defense classes, or they're very, very like they really, really know a lot about like firearms and stuff like that. I want women to have training with that. I want to talk to doctors, and I want to talk to life insurance people. So it looks like Ashley is joining the live. Hold on, let me add her in the stream. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Miss Baker.
Hello.
Hello.
Excited. I'm so excited.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Hi, how are
Oh,
you?
I'm well. I'm well. How are you?
I'm fine, and thank you so much for agreeing to come on and talk to my audience and hopefully educate them, share something with them that can enlighten them. I'm very excited to have you here. I sent right now, like I discussed with Ashley in the email, that I would let her have the floor. She's going to
mm-hmm.
tell her story. You can share any part, Ashley, whether you want to share your professional life or something from your personal life that you feel like would help the women in the audience. Feel free. I am going to go on mute and I'm going to let you have the floor. People in my chat, please be respectful. Remember to always, like, even if you don't agree with something with either with any three of us, if you don't agree with something, that's fine. Just remember to be respectful, one. And then later, after Ashley introduces herself and tell us all about either her professional life or whatever she wants to share with us, I am going to open it up. So if you guys have any questions, you all will be allowed to ask her questions. I'm going to get any like links to any websites or any things that she has to share with us, so that you guys are able to, like, either show support or like whatever she has to offer, you guys can support and go from there. So let me be quiet because I'm a ramble mouth.
I was
I'm
gonna say, and
on
make sure
mute,
you like and subscribe.
right? I'm gonna go on
Don't
mute.
forget. Let's not forget that. And then we're gonna go on mute.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's definitely a pleasure to be here today. I'm going to share a little bit from my personal life because it kind of is a bridge to my professional life. All I've been through, as far as I just had a baby, he's a year old. And during that time, I was going through a breakup with his dad. So it really was a detriment to my emotional and mental state. So he was born, he had some medical issues. With, if you guys don't know, which I didn't know at the time, jaundice is something that's very common in newborns, right? So I didn't pay any mind when I seen that my newborn child was turning yellow, because in my head I have a 10-year-old. So I'm like, oh, I know this is normal. So I'm not gonna, raise a red flag just yet. But then the next day he was even more yellow. And now he's not drinking his milk. So I'm like, okay, something's not right. So I text his doctor, and his doctor was like, send me some pictures. So I sent him some pictures immediately, and he was like, take him to the emergency room right now. And I'm like, oh my God. So I fly to the emergency room. So now, I'm there, and now everyone is like, calling doctors from everywhere because they checked his bilirubin levels and it was in the 40s, which is unheard of. Okay. So now he has to get transported to another hospital because they don't have the equipment there to treat the hyperbilirubin. So now my baby was in the NICU for 2 weeks. Everyone's trying to figure out what happened. To this day, they still don't know what happened. However, now if you look it up, hyperbilirubin untreated in such a way that my son's was, it turns into a condition called coricognous. So that's what my baby now has. He's on the mild spectrum because they caught it in time, thank God. But part of his brain that's damaged is called the basal ganglia. So that part of the brain is what kind of tells your body to hear, speak, move. So of course he has mobility issues, and he cannot hear. Well, the doctors say he cannot hear, but God told me he can. Okay, so he, eventually he will get hearing aids. So we're just going through physical therapy with him, occupational therapy with him, speech therapy. So I am learning sign language. So that's exciting. So I pretty much turned all my pain into my purpose. Going through that and healing from a broken heart. I have really, really bad postpartum depression, guys. Like I did not even see me making it. Like, I'm so grateful that God gave me the grace and the strength to continue to move on, because it was days where I did not want to see the world anymore. So once I started to really pour into myself, I started listening to Lisa Nichols. She's one of my favorite motivational speakers. I literally indulge in everything Lisa Nichols, from her YouTube videos to her courses. I literally, like, she helped me through, her and Sarah Jakes Roberts and God. So I literally was like, how can I use this pain? How can I use my strength to help others? How can I move on? And I prayed for years. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of you guys can relate how we pray for our clarity and who we are and what God is want us to do, our purpose, because we always work, jobs that really don't define who we are. So I really struggled for years to figure out who I am, where I'm going. I started so many different businesses, from a clothing boutique to a consignment store to, working jobs that weren't even, meant for me to work. So I finally got to a place where God was like, here's the pain to kind of mold you into the person that you're meant to be. Okay. So when you pray, don't get upset the way the prayers are answered. My prayers was answered through pain, and that's okay. Now I can say that I was a sacrificial lamb for others, and I'm okay with that, because where I am today, I am so happy. I am so at peace. And I found my passion through the career I was already doing. So I started a mortgage loan officer back in 2016. I came from the banking world. So at that time, I was working for M&T Bank as a assistant manager in the branch. So I had retail experience for several years. And then one day, this pretty lady walked in the door, and she was all happy and preppy. So I'm like, hey girl, how can I help you? And she was like, oh, I work here. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what can I do for you? And she was like, oh, I'm the mortgage girl. And her energy immediately was intrigued me. So I'm like, oh, I want your energy. What can I do to get your job? Because she was just saying how, she makes her own schedule. And at the time, I think my son was probably 4 or 5 years old. And I'm like, I need a flexible schedule, because that 9 to 5 life wasn't me before kids. And it definitely wasn't me with the child. So I'm like, I want your schedule. I want your energy. I want your glow. Please tell me how. So I applied for the mortgage department within the bank, got the job, and I've started doing that since 2016. So of course I dibbled and dabbled out of the industry, because it is a financial struggle when you're new and you're starting off, because it's like your own business. So you think about, being a realtor, being any type of salesperson where it's a commission-based job. It literally is your own business. So you're going to be broke probably for the first year or two. And that's what I was. And I was like, well, I can't really, be out here testing the waters as an entrepreneur when I have a child to take care of. So I went back and forth between the mortgage industry and the banking industry. And then finally, I really settled horses within the mortgage industry in 2019. And I've been consistent ever since. It's definitely changed my life. I've changed others' lives by finally finding my purpose. So I literally want to help people. It's dear to my heart to help single mothers. It's dear to my heart to help women in general, because I feel like women in general, we just go through so much in this world that we can never have enough advocates on our side. So it's always dear to me to help women coming from divorces, single mothers who just want to give their children something, women who have money and don't know what to do with it. I'm the girl who really wants to help people take their thought process of owning a home and really take it from A to Z. So I created a program called the 5 Pillars. The 5 Pillars stands for prepare, receive, utilize, grow, and protect. So that 5-pillar program is something I created for the mortgage process. Because most loan officers you go to, they say, hey, you qualify or you don't, and move on. That's not me. Like, I really want to help people mentally prepare from the mental perspective all the way down to the protection. Because as a single mother who has done a lot of healing in the past, who has let a lot of past relationships, either it was job relationships, friendships, family relationships, romantic relationships, a lot of them have held me back from becoming who I know I'm supposed to be. And when I talk to a lot of women, when it comes to home ownership, there's always a reason why they don't own a home yet. Either it's because their baby father left them, or their husband divorced them, or they have to work 2-3 jobs and don't ever have time to really sit down and plan it out, or they need another job because they don't have the money to take care of their day-to-day and save. So I created the 5 pillar program to mentally get everything out the way to receive your blessings. Okay. And then I move on to the bigger next step is growing. So I also will help women not only buy your first home, but I want to help you turn that home into an asset. And then we can move on and you come, get a multifamily property, do some flip and fix and flips, do some Airbnbs. And then of course, protect. I am a huge advocate, being a professional banking professional, of protecting yourself. That hashtag protect Black women. We need to protect ourselves financially as well. So I also teach and is an advocate of estate planning. Please, I always tell people, get life insurance, get a will, get a living will, get a trust account. I can honestly say of my 10 years that I was a banking professional, I've never had a woman of color, even a man of color, open a trust account. So that's my protection piece in my 5 pillars. Like let's start building your trust. Let's get you a will. Let's allocate how your house is going to be divided between your children. Let's leave instructions for the people that want to leave, that's going to take care of your children, on how to take care of your children, how to raise your children. Let's put your money in a trust to protect yourself. If someone wants to sue you and all your money is in the trust, guess what? Your money is protected. So I'm definitely doing that. So that's like my new piece that I just launched about a month ago. And I'm most excited about me starting my nonprofit. So my nonprofit is called Women of Color. So I just put WOC, Moms and Mortgages Foundation. So when I say I'm getting chills, like my eyes start watering, because I am so excited about this piece of my life, because I get to grant single mothers of color money for their down payment and closing costs. Like my voice gets shaky because this means so much to me, because I know the struggle of being a single mom where you got to take care of your children, you got to take care of yourself, you gotta carry the burden on your shoulders, yet you forget about your dreams, you forget about your goals, because the day-to-day financial situation is already a burden. How can you save for a down payment? Or how can you save for down payment and closing costs? How can you save to maintain the home? How can you save to, if you want to buy nice furniture and upgrade your lifestyle? So my gift to all my beautiful women is, let me grant you that. Okay. I'm going to give you that money. Of course, there are some stipulations. You do have to go through my 5-pillar program. That is a must, but that's the big thing. I am going to have a credit consult person who's going to help you build your credit if you're not where you need to be. I'm going to have an estate attorney help you get your trust and your will. I'm going to have a life insurance agent to get you your life insurance. So I am really trying to change the game when it comes to what legacies look like for women of color. My tagline for my WOC Foundation is cultivating generational wealth through reward, empathy, and empowerment. And that's exactly what I want to stand by. So yes, I'm so excited about that. My goal by the end of this year is to raise $500,000. $500,000 on average will help about 15 women buy homes. And that is major. I am trying to bridge this wealth gap between us and them, if you know what I mean. So please, ladies, keep me on your minds. Help me raise money. Help me drive my mission home. Help me help you close this generational wealth gap.
Ashley, first thing I want to say is I'm glad that StreamYard has a mute, because I was back here screaming. I was back here like, whoa,
Me too.
because you too said I got
Mhm.
goosebumps listening to her speak. My eyes started to tear up because, Ashley, let me fill you in on why I got so emotional as you spoke. One, because, and I have to, Scent knows about my relative. I always talk about her. I have a sister, right? And I see a lot of things go. Ooh, y'all! They know I can't even talk. I'm stuttering. I'm so excited. But Sid knows that I'm very spiritual myself. I'm very honest with my audience. I tell them all the time that I need to get straight back on that narrow path. I am a fence sitter. I don't like to play with God and say that I'm living spiritual when I know I'm messing up and I ain't doing everything I should. I'm very honest. But when you start speaking, I literally got goosebumps. Okay. And I see, and I'm not prophesying to you, but I see in you something, a promise, something is coming through you, something like a light. But also, girl, I'm stumbling over my words. I can't even get them out. I'm so excited. But I have a sister who went through breast cancer, was a nurse and all. And she basically made this makeup company. And at first she made it because she wanted breast cancer patients to feel beautiful. And she went through the whole ordeal. She had a double mastectomy. She had endometriosis. She had hives growing on her hands and feet. She lost her hair and all. Today, her company is worth 20 million and she's moved to Thailand. Okay, now the reason why I bring her up is because I myself am a single mother and I went down to Dallas. I'm from the Midwest. I went down to Dallas, and what I seen down there in Dallas, especially for Black women on housing, Section 8 housing, it was like a shark tank down there. It was scary. There was a lot of women who were losing their vouchers and going into homeless shelters. And Sent is my witness. Something came over me and I said, I want to help women. We have to get out of this. We have to get out of this. I agree with you wholeheartedly with this poverty cycle where from one generation to the next, our children are inheriting poverty. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to take that huge leap of faith and educate ourselves. And like I always say to my kids, let's read the big words. Let's read the things that we don't understand and break them down to where we can understand them and utilize our knowledge and work, just let it work for us. So with everything you're saying, I 100% support. But I also want to, like in the future, I know I'm gonna have to bring you on again. I really do because I was back here taking notes. Sin, were you taking notes?
Yeah.
The 5 pillars program: prepare, receive, utilize, grow, protect. Look, I'm serious about the women who come on Black Women Aware. You're not only going to tell your story, but you're not only teaching the audience, but you're teaching me as well. And everything you said, like I'm stuttering. Said you got to take over for a little bit because you really did bless the live today. And I'm praying that your organizations, both of them, you said you had one called 5 Pillars Program and the other one called
that's the program that they go through
So I have an LLC side, which the LLC is just, is Ashley B LLC, which is me, the mortgage girl,
Awesome.
So I created the 5 pillar program, which is also the same program the nonprofit recipients will go through.
WOC. Yes, the WOC they have to go through the 5 pillar program to go through that, to get the funding and all that, right?
Yes.
Oh,
wow.
Nice.
So that might be something. I'm sorry, Sin. Did you say something?
No, I was gonna ask, is this something that is like only in one like city or state, or is it like
no? So I'm licensed in 11 states.
Oh,
so
nice.
whatever state, and I'm gonna get more. So my goal is my 3-year goal is to build a mortgage team that we can cover all 50 states.
That is good.
Yes. And so I definitely would like to have you back on. But and I'm not like we're not done with the interview or anything. I'm just saying, for future reference, I definitely would love to have you back on and basically keep in contact with you and follow like the path and the journey and everything. But I also wanted to ask because I know having a child, and I don't like to call children who are born different, I don't like to say disabilities. And I don't like using that term because both me and Sid has children with autism. And 2020 was a very difficult year for me because my daughter does not only have autism and all, but she developed alopecia areata. And it was so aggressive. That's for those of you in the audience, alopecia is the same thing that Jada Pinkett has. But my daughter, hers was so aggressive, it took all of her hair within a year and all. And so just hearing like what you said about your child and him like having to go through and get hearing aids. I know hearing aids are not cheap. And they have, I forgot the device they use where they put the implant like inside of the
cochlear implant.
Cochlear implant, yes.
Yes. Like I basically because I can think of 2 and 3 things at the same time. So let me get my first question out because my brain is just going. How do you manage all of that? A mother, a businesswoman, like how do you manage it all?
Whew. Thank you. That is the only response I can get because people ask me that all the time. And it leaves me baffled because I'm only one person, but I can honestly say if it wasn't for God, I don't think I can say that I could do it all. You know, like I'm grateful that as a mortgage loan officer, I make my own schedule. I'm grateful that God seen what I was about to go through 10 years ago when I got into the industry because he knew that I needed to have a job where I was flexible because 10 years later, I'm going to have a child that was going to need me. I'm sorry, this makes me emotional.
Take your time, honey.
We definitely understand.
Yes. I feel so blessed to have you here on my channel. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. Thank you for being patient with me. Cent is still learning the ropes. She's not really a social media girl like that. I literally run blackwomenaware all by myself because I'm preparing my son for college. He's going to be going to high school and college, and I deal with my own baby and work and everything. So I thank you so much for being patient and we were back and forth in those emails and everything. And sometimes I just scan them. And then I know with your email, I said, I'm going to personally apologize to Ashley because I scanned the emails. And then some of the things that I was asking you for, you had already sent me, and I hadn't seen because some days I'm just up and I'm operating on 4 to 6 hours of sleep. And I'm always coming across cases and different things. And, I don't know, like other than God and the strength that he's given you, and I thank God for what he has instilled in you. I always find stories like yours incredible, miracles, because like I was sitting over here, I could not sit down. I was pacing the room, and like as she continued to speak and speak, I said, oh my God, this is a walking miracle right here. And I took out my pen and paper. I said, and you taught me something as you continue to go along with your testimony. I said, I need to always take notes and write down and learn. And for my audience as well, you all don't be ashamed to ask what could be deemed as a stupid question. No question is a stupid question. But Ashley, have you always wanted to get into like finance or become a mortgage loan officer?
I'm gonna be honest, no. Like finance, yes, because my mother was a banker. My aunt was a banker. So it was like I just followed their footsteps. But I struggled with my identity for a long time. Like I always felt like I was a creator as far as like I am a fashion person. Like I had a fashion boutique. I love interior design. So I felt like the arts was kind of my thing. But again, when you continue to pray, God will let you use your gifts in another way. Like I can still use my art to give. I'm still a creator. I created a whole nonprofit. I created a whole 5-pillar program. I'm still creating. So I prayed for what I wanted, but it didn't show up the way I thought it was going to show up. And I'm grateful for that. But mortgage, no, I got into mortgage because I wanted a flexible schedule. I didn't know anything about mortgage. I just knew I wanted that schedule.
Hey, you know what?
I understand that. That was the main reason for me getting into the billing and coding. so that I can have a flexible schedule and work from home.
Yeah.
And those are tough fields, both mortgage loan officer and finance. Like finance, I took literally 2 weeks of business finance classes at a university in my hometown. And I didn't quit because I thought it was too much. Like I had other things going on with my children at that time, so I had to drop out, unfortunately. But I had learned so much about
Mm-hmm.
money and about the world of money that literally 2 weeks after coming out of those classes, like as just imagine you're coming out of classes and it's students like all around you swarming and they're walking out of the building and you're standing there and you're just starstruck. And I was starstruck. This is why we need people like you, Ashley. And this is a true story. And I'm going to humble myself and have a little bit of humility and share this story. Now, I took those classes at 27 years old. And I took those classes like all because I was curious. I had always been curious about how money worked. Now, you would think that at 27 years old, I would have an understanding of how money works and all. Some people are married already, bought houses. I didn't understand any of that. And even though I was blessed to have a father who was an entrepreneur, and all of that, I like he was always working. He never had time to teach me what he knew. And so learning all of that, I felt like the whole 27 years before those 2 weeks, I felt like I had been hoodwinked, you know. And so
Yeah,
I'm
I
speaking
understand
from
that.
my own experience because I understand that some Black women who are single mothers, like some of them don't pursue or go for like they want to buy houses, they want to be more stable, they want those things, but they don't know how to approach it without
Mm-hmm.
feeling like somebody is trying to, when you go in a bank to a bank, it's not
It's
somebody.
intimidating. It can be very intimidating.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I feel like that's my calling. That's because I make them feel, for one, I'm very empathetic because I'm a single mother, so
Mm-hmm.
I go above and beyond. I always get people that come to me and say, well, my previous loan officer said I don't qualify, so call him in 2 years. I'm like, what? No, like we might not get you a house today, but let's work on it. Like let's build your credit.
Exactly.
Let's build your credit.
Exactly.
Let's figure this out. I always have them print out their bank statements and let's highlight where you need to stop door dashing and
Mm.
doing. Like I take my time with each of my clients because it's so important to me. I treat people how I want to be treated. So I
Mm.
would love somebody to sit down and do what I do for others. For me.
Yeah. And that's needed more and more around here because or anywhere because that's the thing that pushes most people away from making those steps of home ownership or anything, going back to school, any of those kind of things, because they are afraid of what they don't know.
Exactly.
And so because they don't know, or it seems like it's something hard to do, it pushes them away from doing it. And then you go, when you do get the courage to do it, you go somewhere and somebody tell you, oh, this is not good, this is not good, this is not good. And then that's all they leave you with. They
Yep.
give you little bits and pieces like, okay, if you do this, then you can get this.
Right.
But, they want that ultimately, like, you could tell where their goal is by how they talk to you. If they send you home with that information, you already know it was about the money for them ultimately because if you have they don't want to take that hit on the commission.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that type of stuff, but then there's people that I know um, that will walk you through that, but they won't walk you out through the whole thing because in the big picture, they don't see you coming back to finish it. And like you said, come back in 2 years instead of breaking it down and saying, no, do this, do that. And that's what those people will need. And you, I guess, how long have you been in the industry?
Since 2016.
So since that 2016, so it's been a while. So now it's like you can see it in their face when they walk up to you. Almost like a
I could even hear it in their voice because
mm-hmm.
honest, I don't see a lot of people face to face. The
Oh.
nonprofit I can't wait. I'm excited because the nonprofit will get me out there because now I want to kind of do like traveling seminars with the nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
But typically, most of my mortgage transactions are done over the phone. But
Ah.
I can hear the hurting people voices as soon as I pick up the phone, because they're like, please, it's like more like they're pleading, like, please help me. Like, no one has helped me. Like, don't just brush me off. Please don't hang up on me. Like, I need help. And I remember I had this one girl who was in a hotel with her 3-year-old son. So there's people out here who desperately need the help, but because loan officers don't get the commission right away, they brush them off. And to me, that's just not the way that I do things. And I feel like my blessings come back tenfold when I genuinely help people from the heart and not from the pocket. So
yeah, and it comes back, like you said, tenfold, 100-fold, a millionfold, because word of mouth is your best advertisement, and how you treat somebody, that always come back to you.
Absolutely. The same people I can help can turn around and refer me 3 or 4 people.
Exactly.
I am so patient. I'm so understanding. I'm so emotional all the time. Like, I'm like, I need to worry about this. I will cry with somebody on the phone. Like, no, like,
that's me. In the car, girl, rolling windows up, got the tin on them.
Oh man, I get so connected with my people. I want to help them out my own pocket, but I know I can't do that. So I'm like,
and that's why you need the support. Now, what is the link where if somebody wanted to come and make a donation or anything like that? Do you have anything set up?
So I have so my website for the nonprofit is WOC Moms and Mortgages, and just spelled out.
Actually, did you send that link to the nonprofit? You sent both of them?
Yes, I sent it. I sent you my LLC and my nonprofit link.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so the nonprofit, you can go on that. You can read all about what's going on, because I have 2 programs that I'm going to be launching, which is the first-time home buyers, and then I did also have an investors grant where I will grant money for people to buy investment properties as well. And then I have my LLC side where they can actually contact me for the mortgage piece if they want to start like the 5-pillar program. Like my landing page, I think it has like book consultation. So you click on that and you can get on my calendar.
Now, is the nonprofit organization, that's something new for you? Like a new something new adventure for you?
It is. It is. Yeah. Yes. So I just registered with the state literally like April 13th. This is a whole new animal for me. So right now I'm in the process of getting a fiscal sponsor, which is kind of like a fiscal sponsor is where I would use their 501c3 status and piggyback off them, but they're like my big brother. So they will literally teach me the whole nonprofit game.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that because I love to learn to teach others. I'm not on my own. So I get to pretty much, I call it training wheels. I get to have like my nonprofit training wheels on until I'm able to really feel comfortable to be out there on my own. Because running a nonprofit, it's a lot. It's not like an LLC or a corporation. Like it's so many rules. You can't do this. You can't do that. Like I can't even control my own money in my nonprofit. I can't be my own. So there's a lot of like rules and laws that you have to really be mindful of. And I'm glad that I have a big brother to kind of help me navigate through that.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask about the with the nonprofit organization. Like you said that it's something new to you, and you said you have some like an umbrella over, like to kind of show you the way.
Yes.
And then will you be able to branch off?
Absolutely.
Or is it just going to stay that way?
Nope, I would definitely be able to branch off. One of the biggest mistakes I made in my life is pretty much thinking I can do it all on my own. And now that I'm older and wiser, I know I can't. So this is so dear to my heart that I don't want to mess it up. So I'm like, let me get under an umbrella to really hold my hand so I can make sure I do everything right. Because for one, I don't want the IRS to come after me. Right?
Especially.
And then on top of that, as a nonprofit, your board can kick you out. If you're not running it the right way. So I want to do things the right way, so I can make sure that I satisfy everybody in my position, so they won't kick me out of my own company.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you about because I have been looking into the nonprofit things, and I noticed they said, you know, you need a board, like you need a, I guess like a chain of command almost, not chain of command, but like, you know, you need a president and I don't know. It's
Right? Each state is different. Like and I'm in Virginia, so we need at least 3 people, including
mm-hmm,
myself. So I have myself, which I'm the president slash CEO, and then I have a vice president and I have a secretary. I'm in the process of bringing on a treasurer,
mm-hmm.
so I'll have 4 people on my board. And eventually, I'm going to continue to grow. Like I would love to see like realtors on my board. I want to get a life insurance agent on my board. I want to get a attorney on my board, maybe a
Amazing.
advisor. So I do foresee, like I would say, like my 2-year goal is to probably definitely expand my board by 4 or 5 people.
Okay, because when you were talking about the WOC, I was thinking I have a girlfriend that's out in, I believe she's in Myrtle Beach, or I can't think of where. I don't know, one of the Carolinas. I met her in Atlanta, and she's doing real. She's a realtor, but she's thinking about branching out. And when you were saying that, I don't know why, but the first thing came to mind was to link you two together.
Absolutely.
I got it written here on my notes because she definitely has the same heart and sound like the same goals when it comes to that part, as far as getting the WOC together and going through the 5 P's. I'm calling them the 5 P's, the 5 pillars, and I think that it will be really good to link the two of you.
Absolutely, I love other like-minded women.
Yes. And let me see what other notes I have. What 11 states are you licensed in?
Sure. So Virginia, Maryland, DC, Pennsylvania, Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Indiana, Alabama, North Carolina. Did I say Florida? Florida. I don't know if I said Florida.
Yeah, you said Florida.
Yeah.
So okay.
Amazing. And you're working on getting licensed in all 50?
Well, I don't personally want to get licensed in all 50. That would be a lot for me.
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
I want to build it. My goal is to build a team. So bring on like like 2 more loan officers to cover pretty much all the states.
That's gonna be absolutely amazing.
I'm so excited. And I feel like I finally found me. Like I finally found that thing, you know, like that thing that just makes you like so giddy on the inside. Like
yes.
I finally found it. And I just, my 5-year vision for it is going to be huge. Like I just want to bring on, I even want to, I'm possibly thinking about when I do bring on other loan officers, even do like a loan officer academy where I teach other women of color to how to be loan officers, because we need more of us on that side. Like we have a lot of realtors, but we need more of us on the financial piece.
And what all does it take to become a loan officer? Like what would one have to do to become a loan officer?
You have to take the NMLS exam, which is pretty much like a state exam, similar to like the real estate exam. Depending on your state, the hours do vary. Like the course varies. Like my state is 60 hours. And you have to be hired with a mortgage company first. I think that's a little different than realtor. Like realtor, you could take the exam before you actually find a brokerage. I believe the opposite with the mortgage, because the brokerage have to kind of sponsor you to take the test. It's not, I'll be honest, it's not the greatest industry for rookies. And that's why I struggled my first 2-3 years, because everyone is moving and booming, that no one wants to take the time out to sit down and really teach you the game, because there's so many things to learn on the mortgage side. I mean, you have to learn how to read rates and price the loan, and you have to learn guidelines and know guidelines like the back of your hand. You have to learn how to really, take a proper loan application. You have to really know how to move the pieces, because I call it, I'm like the puzzle. I'm the puzzle keeper, because I have to really move pieces to make things work and inform my clients on what to do and what not to do and how to do it. Like it's a lot of work, and a lot of managers don't take the time out to really sit down and really teach you the game, because it's very time consuming. So I want to be that vessel to help women that's interested in becoming a loan officer, bring them to a loan officer academy that I'm going to eventually brand, maybe 2 years, 3 years from now.
Okay, so I'm really big on like thinking outside of the box and branding off of that. And you said that you really this is your this this is your thing, and you feel you got that feeling when you do it. So what would it take to brand? What would it take for you to add on to the WC, where you can offer to give seminars where you'll be able to at least get other people, like other women, into the industry, and get them to the point where they'll be able to pass these exams or get to that point?
It will be more on the LLC side than my nonprofit side, to be honest. I think, my loan officer academy will be under Ashley B LLC. I will say, and when I start to see that I really need the help, and because WOC is like booming and I'm getting people grants and I need more help with as far as the loan process, that's when I will bring on people, because I want to be able to, when I bring on people, I want to be able to also step away a little bit so I can be hands-on with them and not always be hands-on with just clients, because it would be hard for me to balance the clients and my new hires. So I want to be able to step away a little bit so I can focus on boarding my people, because I want to give them the undivided attention that I did not have when I was new.
Okay, that's good stuff. That's a good idea. That's a smart idea to do it off of the LLC opposed to the nonprofit.
Yes.
Okay. So, Ms. Banks, do you have anything else that you would like to share before we?
One more thing that's in my bag of the future. I am going to go back to school to get my law degree and become a real estate attorney.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
I really want, when I say I want to really serve, I want to serve on a legal level too. Like I want to be in the rooms that help make the laws and mend the laws. And like, I want to be on the top so I can help everybody else come get to the top,
Well, let's just say you are going to be.
Yes.
I'm claiming she's already there. I see it. I see it.
So I'm trying to be on a legal team somewhere, trying to get some laws and things change and get some, so yes. And eventually that comes with more things, like, as a real estate attorney, I can also do title work and things like that. So I'm really trying to build a whole brand. And I want to bring so many people on. Like one of my biggest desires is to be an employer, because I want to be able to give people the experience that I've never had as an employee. And I cannot wait to really pour into people. I can't wait to really motivate and reward people and give them what they deserve. I can't stand to see employers mistreat their employees. And to see employees go unnoticed, or employees are not rewarded for their work. I want to be able to give my team, vacations, like company paid vacations. Bring your family. Let's do happy hours together. Let's build a family. Like I want my employees to feel like family.
Okay, what I gotta do?
I'm not hiring yet.
Right.
Okay.
We need you not to be a stranger, Ms. Banks. I'm already over here because I'm trying to train myself, and I'm glad that the streaming website has it to where I can mute, because I'm trying to train myself to not cut people off when they're talking, because as you're talking, I know Sin is getting excited because I'm getting excited, and I'm like, the only question that popped into my mind as you were speaking was, what can I do to assist with this because I don't know a lot about realty, but from what I seen in Dallas when I was down in Dallas, like it was traumatic what I seen down there. What I seen some women going through, especially in the like trying to find housing and everything. And I know I understand with some housing authorities across America, some of these women can take those vouchers and buy property with those vouchers and I'm wondering from my side of things, how can I like assist you in this? Because I really want to see Black women like become homeowners. And let's just be honest, Black women in the community, a lot of times we're the heads of the household, and so it's something that we can't fend off. That the inheritance and generational wealth will most likely come from us. So what can I do to assist with this?
I mean, the best thing that anyone can do, honestly, is share and spread the word. I'll come on your show anytime you want. I just need the exposure. And honestly, I've never really been a camera, interview. Like, this is new to me, but I'm going to get out my comfort zone and talk more and more and more and more.
Yes, because your story definitely deserves to be shared. I actually was thinking about setting up a date to where you can come on like maybe once a month even, because you sound like a very busy young lady. And maybe once a month, just, hitting the stream and getting on here and, educating. And what I can do on my side is like advertise and just remind people that, hey, on this day at this time, we're going to have Miss Banks back. And you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sign me up.
Yes. So let me write that down or else I'm going to forget. Cent?
Yes.
Do you have anything else you want to ask Ashley?
I think that I asked everything. I'm super excited to see how everything pans out. It's exciting to see people putting things into play instead of saying I want to do this, I want to do that, and actually going out and doing that. It's two totally different things. So I commend you on that. And just keep up the good work. And like Candace said, if there's anything that I can do to help, just let me know. And I definitely gonna get the information from Candace so I can.
And is it okay? No, I'm sorry, Sin. I don't mean to cut you off. No, it's me. That was me, honey. I'm sorry. But is it okay? I always ask permission. Is it okay if I give Sin your email to follow up with you?
I don't mind at all. I mean, you can give it to your viewers. I can give it to everybody right now. My email is Ashley, ASHLEY, at ashleybllc.com.
Okay.
And my website is the same, ashleybllc.com. You can book your consultation on there. And then you have my nonprofit. It's WOCmomsandmortgages.org.
And everybody, because I know a lot of my viewers, because I am new to going live, a lot of my viewers will come back and watch this live. So everybody, I will be placing those links to Ashley's websites in the description box below, and I'll also pin them to the comment section. Okay, because this is something that I feel like home ownership, I'm still learning about that, even though I'm in my mid-30s, and sad to say, I'm still learning about how important or how beneficial it is to own your own home and grow equity. And so this is something I'm really excited about. So I will be getting with you and putting you on the roster for every month. So that you can come on and educate us, even, me and Cent, because Cent, I don't know about Cent, but I'm not too educated when it comes to realty. I still have a lot to learn.
Cent I'm still on the fence. I'm still on the fence how I feel about it. I'm still on the fence how I feel about, the whole, like, one against the other. Sometimes it just depends, I guess, on how you view it and how you come into it or how you get out of it. But I'm still learning bits and pieces, but I'm always open to learning and seeing different aspects of it, because with any industry, it's always a part you don't know about.
Absolutely.
So I'm always open to learn something new.
I'm excited. Thank you so much, ladies.
Yes, I thank you, Ashley, for coming up, taking a part out of your day to come up and share with us and educate us on not only your organizations but just your story. Your story inspired me. You know, it really did. And like that's why I felt like it was important. Like Sid knows I talk her ear off about my sister because, as Sid said, there's a difference between people who talk about it and people who be about it. And so my sister, like I know Sid. Sid has known me for like 11 years. So I know this past 2 years that I've been just running her ears about my sister. And the reason why I talk about my sister so much is because like my sister has made Forbes magazine. She has been on CNN. She has sold makeup to Oprah Winfrey, Beyonce, Gabby Douglas. And to see somebody like you, and I know that there's a lot more to come with you. I know a winner when I see one. Okay. So as you talk, that's why I said, oh my God, I got to tell her about Cassie because you have that go-getter spirit. And every time I talk to my sister, the one thing that Cassie always puts in me, her company, by the way, is named Beauty Bakery. But every time I speak with her, it's no excuses. Cassie's a single mom as well. It's no excuses. You got to do it now. I don't care. You could be laying in the bed almost with a foot in the grave, and Cassie is going to expect you to keep your word and do whatever you said you were going to do. So just to hear that you have a child at home and with a disability and all. And that's serious. Like I go through Gracie, my baby girl has only lost her hair, Ms. Banks. She did not, she's still blessed. She has her hearing. She can see, she can talk. One of the things with autistic kids, they struggle with talking. Okay. But Grace can verbalize, she can talk. So to hear you say what you deal with and tackle all of these things that you tackle, I just thank God that there was a mute button because I'm like, oh my God, the audience would not have heard because I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I was getting goosebumps.
Yes,
So
especially that part where you said they say. That's me all day. They
yeah,
said, but I know better. Okay,
Yes.
especially when it comes to your kids, they say they don't know or they never do stuff or they'll
Yep.
never. And you be watching them do it while they saying they on the phone with you.
that's
They'll
right.
never be able to do this. They'll never be able to. And you sitting up looking at them, listening to them, but watching the kids do exactly what they said they wouldn't do. So
Yep.
that's why I laughed. I was laughing at that. I was like, yeah,
When she
that's
said that, I
definitely
mean,
that.
my arms just I like spikes. I got goosebumps because I was like, yes. But I know a winner when I see one, and we definitely will be scheduling you and getting you like on every month to share and educate us. But I wish you well in all of your future
Thank you so
endeavors.
much.
You all, if you have any extra questions or anything for Ashley, if I see anything in the comments, I'm going to just email them to her and she can answer them on the next live. Okay. But guys, I'm going to get off of here for right now. You all have a blessed day. And just remember, this is to my audience. You all, please be safe, be alert, and be aware as I inform you all on every video. Since you have a blessed one, Ashley, you
You
take
too.
care. You'll be hearing from me soon.
Absolutely.
And guys, it's time to get off.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Have a wonderful day.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you later, guys.